everybody, welcome to my channel, Miss Criticizer 2021. Hope you all are doing well. This video is now the pros and the cons of Miss Philippines competition that I watch. It's actually mostly pros. It's very positive. It's just maybe a few things that I feel like, oh, this could be added. If you haven't watched my review video, please watch it. It's the previous video. I did an extensive review of me being a first-time watcher of Miss Philippines, and I loved it so much. I love the show so much. So this is just more video where I'm going to post it. Yeah. So I've only watched the live show. I didn't really watch anything camp related, maybe the preliminary and all that stuff. So I'm basically going off the live show. If I have time, maybe I'll watch the camp episode. Yeah. So what I love so far, the presenters are amazing. Stellar presenters. They even brought Jeannie Mai, and who also did an amazing job. All of them, all three of the presenters did well, and they were very engaging. I felt that they had a chemistry with the audience. They made me feel so relaxed. Like, I love the presenter. So like I said, even the outfits to the presenters, they dressed well, they look good. The man, I was not such a fan of his big bow tie, but for the rest, his other suits, everything, he looks very dapper. So the presenters, I love it very much. Second of all, Miss Philippines, we know they're advanced. I love the stage production, the setting, everything. Oh my god, the way the audience is, I loved everything so far. And I also love how, again, like I saw how advanced they were. Most of the judges, they had a screen in front of them, so that they can properly analyze these contestants. It's basically like a VR screen during football. If a mistake happens, they need to see it and they need to check so that they're certain of the decisions that they make. I love that very much, because like I said, sometimes you can see something from a distance. It might not be that accurate, but the fact that you take your time, you look into the screen, you have them zoomed in, you can analyze everything perfectly. Amazing. I love the advancement regarding that. I also actually like the adverts. Like I said, usually I'm not such a fan of the adverts, the sponsorships and all that. I'm like, okay, you guys, you want to make your money, you need to be visible and all that. But there was something about the adverts that felt very organic. I loved how most of the adverts were infomercials. So when there was a skincare that they were advertising, they involved most of the delegates. Let's just say that I like how most of these sponsors and adverts, they included most of the participants, the delegates, and they made them felt seen, very useful and all that. And so in most of the adverts, they explain the impact the skincare has made. It's more like an infomercial, and of course they let all the other contestants that are involved in the adverts, they also let them talk, and it just felt so organic. So I actually liked that. I liked how involved they were. I also liked the type of adverts they had. It felt very balanced, because I see that Miss Philippines, they have so many sponsors. We had, of course, the ones that it involved beauty products, makeup, skincare, jewelry, you name it, involving all the delegates. They look good. But we also had the ones that matter, that made impact in the society, health-related organizations, charity organizations. I saw the one in regards to menstruation, and it's part of the CSR, and basically how they're involved in the process. So you had the ones also in regards to sexual health, promoting STI tests, raising awareness, things like that, things that matter. We also had the advert, I won't say advert, infomercial about promoting Philippines textiles, promoting some of the indigenous designers, and just make it grow so that it doesn't go extinct. So things that matter. And I said this is a variety of things we want to see, and the involvement of these participants is not just about beauty and looks. It's about, first of all, promoting Philippine culture. We saw that also, if you check my previous video, we also saw that in regards to the I think it was the preservation, conservation or something like that. preserving culture, specifically with the housing and with the buildings and the architecture of things. So to be honest, I really like it. Seems like Miss Universe Philippines, they work with a lot of these charity organizations. They also work, because there were so many that I've seen gender-based violence one, where the girls have been involved. The ones in regards to migrant workers, supporting that. So it doesn't feel very flashy. I also like how simple the show was. The show felt very simple. It was two and a half hours, well, without the extra adverts and all that. It was 2.5 hours. It was very straightforward. They went from the top 50 to the top 20. They did a Q&A. We went to the top 10. We had a swimsuit. We went to the top 10. There was evening gown. Then from there it went to the top 5, and then we had the adverts distributed evenly. So to be honest, I like just how the whole show was. It was very easy to watch. I also liked how determined the girls were. Like, the girls came prepared. It could be that some of these girls have been training for years. They don't take it as a joke. You can see that pageant culture is really ingrained in the Filipino society. And it's not only about beauty, it's also about purpose, it's also about quality. I like how involved they were in community work, in what they did for the society, and you could see the passion that these contestants had in it. So they had beauty, they had brains, they had looks, they explained what it meant to be a Filipino woman, an empowered woman, a very strong woman, a woman that makes an impact in her own society, and who is strong, who does not let challenges go in them. So it's the pride of a Filipino woman. I loved it. I love the show. I love the musicians. I love the people who performed. Basically, most of it is positive. Yeah, so now when it comes to the negatives, I won't say possibly negatives, just maybe things that I feel like I was not such a fan of. I'm like, the top 50 women, you brought them on the live show. I'd be damned if I was in the top 50. I dressed very well. I made sure I came prepared, and then I didn't even get to go on have a big swimsuit round, and then they cut me off immediately. So the top 50, all they did was they just had the intro walk, and that's it. That's from at the start of the show, but from there they didn't progress. You know, so I really wish, but again, it would have been time consuming. I really wish at least the top 50 would have done a swimsuit round. So I felt like they should have just done an announcement before starting the live show. They should have cut it to top 20. Only the top 20 should make it to the live show. So that was just my minor thing. And then the second one, I want to ask you Filipinas, yeah? I saw that there were some of the delegates that were representing other countries. And for example, Hawaii, was there Hawaii? There was United Kingdom. There was Australia, I believe. There were, let's just say they were representing other countries. And I just want to ask, how does that work? Because I would think that it's strictly the province that you represent. Now, granted, you may be a diasporan. You may not really live in the Philippines, but maybe one of your parents, you represent maybe their hometown where they're from. So that's just how I thought it would be. So when I saw that there were other countries they were representing, how does that work? I feel like, because this is Philippines, you know, I don't want any other, it's my personal opinion, I wouldn't want to represent any other country in a national competition, Miss Philippines. It needs to be about promoting all our areas and all that. So that's the minor point. And also what I saw, the Pro Tour, what I loved is that they are promoting tourism, the hometown one. We saw it in the beginning of the show. It was called Sultan Kudarat. Yeah, so I wish, that was very beautiful to watch. I think there's more of an extensive episode in the camp series, but it was a cultural thing. I really loved it. Now, fifth, even though I love how Philippines, they promote their culture on this show, and it's heavy about this, I'm not sure if this was probably presented in the prelims. I've said this many times, I love culture. I really, really love culture. I wish there was a segment in regards to traditional cultural wear, traditional Filipino cultural wear. Like, I would have really loved to see that. But again, it could have been presented in the prelims. So that's it. There's not really much. But to be honest, yeah, Miss Philippines is one of my favorite competition that I've watched so far. I love the performance. I love how all the girls, they're stunning, they're beautiful, they presented themselves very well, they practiced, they came full force, and it's yeah, I love it. I'm looking forward to more Filipino pageants. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Love you. Bye bye. Oh, and I just realized that the Miss United Kingdom contestant in Miss Philippines, she actually won Miss United Kingdom. I reviewed that show. I just realized it. She ended up in the top 20. But yeah, that's very, very interesting. So her and Chelsea, they're competing at the same time in Miss Mexico. Anyway.